1.
We're going to look at subtracting integers using counters. We're going to start really basic. 3 minus 2, which we all know is 1. They're both positive numbers, so it's pretty easy. When we talk about subtracting, we're talking about removing or taking away. So in this case, we're starting with 3 positive counters. And I want to remove 2. I'm going to show removing by crossing them out. 1, 2. That leaves me with 1 positive counter, which means 3 minus 2 equals 1. Okay, let's try something a little trickier. What if we do -3 minus -1? We're starting with -3 counters, so 3 red counters. And I need to remove -1 counters. I can do that pretty easily. Just remove this one. And I'm left with 2 red counters, which means -2. Which means -3 minus -1 equals -2. So far, so good. A little bit trickier. Now I want to do 3 minus 5. So I'm going to start with 3 positive counters, which are the yellow counters. Now I want to remove 5 counters. Well, that's a bit of a problem because I only have 3 and I need to take 5 away, which means I need 2 more. Well, I can't just add 2, so I need to come up with a way to get 2 on there without changing the value. So I'm going to add in 0 pairs. I'm going to add 1 0 pair and 2 0 pairs. We know these are 0 pairs because they are opposite, so they are really equal to 0. So I haven't changed the value, it still equals 3, but now I can remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive counters, and I'm left with 2 red counters, or -2. So 3 minus 5 equals -2. One more example before you do some with me. What if I had -10 minus 2? I'm going to start with 10 red counters, so -10. And I want to be able to remove +2 counters. Well, there's no yellow counters there to remove at all. So that means I need to get 2 yellow counters on there by adding in 2 0 pairs. 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs. So what's here is still 10, but now I'm able to remove 2 positive counters. 1, 2, which leaves me with 12 red counters, or -12. So -10 minus 2 is equal to -12. Let's look at your worksheet and do some together. In instances where you have the same signs and you are modeling with the counters or the chips, this is how you're going to do it. For this one, we have -5 minus -3. So here we have 5 negatives in here. So you can color yours red or just put a little minus sign in between there. And then we have to take away 3 of the negatives. So we can simply cross them out. 1, 2, 3. So -5 minus negative 3 equals negative 2. Make sure you have this on your paper before you move on to the next one. Sometimes you have different signs with the chips. That you're going to have to model as well. So in this instance, we have 6 minus negative 4. So first I'm going to do my 6 positives here. And I don't have 4 negatives, so I have to add them in. But I have to add them in as 0 pairs, so I'm not changing the value of 6. So, this is a 0 pair, this is a 0 pair, this is a 0 pair, and this is my last 0 pair. Now, I have 4 negatives available for me to take away. So I can simply 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives gone. So now what I have left is 6 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 positive counters, which gives me a total of 10. So 10 positives left, so 6 minus negative 4 equals 10. Make sure you have this on your sheet before you move on to the last one. When you do not have enough negatives to take away. So for instance, you have a problem, negative 2 minus negative 5. Whoops. First I have my negatives 2 here that I have, but there are 5 negatives to take away, but I only have 2. So I must add in 3 more, but I must add them in as 0 pairs, which means 3 negatives and 3 positives going in. 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs, 3 0 pairs. So now I can take away 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm left with is 3 positives. Therefore, negative 2 minus negative 5 must equal positive 3. Make sure you have this on your paper before you end the video. You may stop, you may go back, you may pause, you may do anything you need to do to ensure that you have this on your notes. This worksheet needs to be glued into your notebook, and I would recommend making sure that you go back to the beginning of the video and put in the other 3 examples into your notebook as well, so that you have them and can reference back.